Take it back to 2022 and Southampton versus Watford was a Premier League fixture. Indeed it has been for a considerable part of the last decade, but now both sides find themselves in much trickier veins of form. Southampton have had a bit of a ropey spell after a brilliant start under the caretaker management of Tonderecker, which led to him getting the job permanently, whilst Watford are now searching for another new manager after Happy Gracia's shock resignation earlier on in the week. But given the tight and unpredictable nature of the Championship this season, both sides could well still be in the mix for the playoff positions come the end of the campaign. Certainly the visitors Watford, who start the weekend just outside the top 6. So it's time to see what happens as Southampton take on Watford here on Unfiltered Football in a 12:31 kickoff in support of the British Heart Foundation's Every Minute Matters campaign. Right, it is a lovely day for football, dare I say. Look out, I don't know if the camera really does it justice. It is proper rainy, not too windy to be fair, but yeah, it feels like a great footballing day, I can't lie. So a bit more context as opposed to this game then. Obviously Southampton's come into it. It feels like they've had a really poor season. They are actually only 7 points off the playoffs. Could go potentially 4 points off Wrexham and at final first place with a win. And we mentioned it about QPR last week. If they would have won at Charlton last night, then they could have easily gone into the first place. The Championship this season is so unpredictable. I'm assuming Leicester getting a couple 6 points deduction. Again, just throwing a couple more teams into the playoff mix certainly, and obviously push a lot of teams up the table, so that's an extra places so up the table. Watford, obviously, a bit of drama off the pitch recently. Unlike Watford, changing manager again. But this time, Happy Gracia actually resigned, wasn't sacked by the Pozzo family. He resigned, so today taking charge is a joint team of ex-players, one of which is ex-Portsmouth fullback Charlie Daniels. They got the game swamping a lot of the season, not really that memorable to be honest. But played in the Premier League with Bournemouth, scored a banger against Man City if I remember correctly. So he's basically the man in charge. He was Watford under-21's manager before stepping into interim charge of the first team for the last couple of games. So it will be interesting to see how it works because Watford aren't actually having that bad of a season, realistically. And I think they could also move into the playoffs with a win at St Mary's today. So I can't wait. If you haven't guessed already, you know I'm a Bromley fan. You know I can't get in that home end. I cannot bring myself to bet in that home end because it's so empty. But we are in the away end, the Watford end. Come on, you Orleans. And it's time to take me. Time for me to take you to Southampton with me. Why is the road gone dead quiet? I recognise that. Quite some bridge to be fair. Stadium geek here, but I do love plans that have that little sort of like whatever that is on the top. It's really cool. Honestly, I once heard someone call this the King Power but with red seats, and when we get inside you'll see a bit more. Even from the outside it just looks like that. In case you're wondering why the camera's fobbling all over the place, there's loads of puddles and the road's really bumpy, so I apologise. Well, here we are.
Need something to rely on, so tell me when you're gonna let me in. I'm getting tired and I need somewhere to begin. I came across.
Tell you what, stop there outside the ground. It's about 10:30 on a Saturday morning, so the early kick-off. This ain't bad, is it? Right, in terms of the team news then on this cloudy Saturday lunchtime, both sides actually unchanged here at St Mary's. Southampton from that impressive 2-0 win at Stoke last week. Watford from that 0-0 draw, which wasn't a bad result to be fair, at Hull in that rearranged fixture in midweek. Means Southampton start by Stewart up front with LARIN, the Canadian legend really, on the bench. Watford, of course, they have got a pretty strong side. Stephen and FUME's a player I'm really interested to see, only 17 years old, on loan from Man City, starting centre back today.
Now we're putting the excellent work of the Saints Foundation under the spotlight today at today's match.
The Saints for this afternoon's EFL Championship match against Watford. We're moments away from kick-off.
One. Oh! One. Oh! Two. One. 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 Oh. Two. One. One. Oh. Hit it! Two. One. Oh.
The FA Cup next Saturday. For now though, thanks ever so much for all your support, and from everyone here at Southampton Football Club, we wish you a safe and smooth journey home.
Right, I absolutely hate saying this, so let's just get it out of the way, early doors. Very good hospitality by Southampton. You know, the stuff they have outside the ground for kick-off, really, really good. Probably one of the best I've been to so far this season. We've got to try and make it sort of, you know, even as such. You know, we want to make it a bit more neutral. You know, this isn't just a Pompey fan channel, despite the flag in the background. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. In terms of the game, I thought it was frustrating, really, because it was decent in terms of footballing wise and quality until the final third. And I mean, you've seen the succession of corners Watford had in the second half, and it just felt like it was never ending. And they never actually, you never thought they were actually going to score. We're decent for a large majority of the game, but it was just, like I say, the end product. You've got the likes of Georgie Takfadadze, you know, on the pitch. Just fantastic footballers. Dumbio, aside up front, I thought there was a real lack of service. Osman Mama is a sensational player when he has the ball at his feet. Again, to be fair, for a young player like him, it's understandable. It's going to take time for consistent end products. It was just frustrating being in the away end and seeing so many little quality chances being created. We know what a great player Irman Loser can be. And I think he is a bit of a he is indicative, I think that's how the phrase goes, of the problems at Watford. Because, I mean, they've just appointed, at the time of recording this, they've just appointed Edward Still, who is the brother of ex-Southampton manager Will Still, ironically, as the new manager. And, I mean, he's got a hell of a job on his hands, hasn't he? In his first job in English football he's going to be taking on, and it's a big one, because I think the issue at Watford is there's quality players, we know that, but it just feels like lose on Saturday. Just some of the decisions he was making, the party he was making, was so poor for someone of his ability and his quality. And I remember there was a moment where Luka Kjærgaard, who had came on for Dimbia about 60 odd minutes in, they were just, the Daniel Peretz in the Southampton goal had the ball like just outside his penalty area. The entire away end was screaming at him to press the ball, and he just does nothing. And I think that's an issue. Is it just players getting away with almost stealing a living at Watford? Is what it feels like at the moment. Obviously, things could all change with still. Who knows? Didn't quite work out for his brother at Southampton, so it'll be fascinating to see how that one really works out. Obviously, for Watford then, still well and truly within the playoff conversation, although you'd maybe say it was a big blow, I feel, to lose that. And again, Southampton, who knows, could they even mount a playoff charge? You know, I think even up to Sheffield United, maybe even down to Swansea, we'll be looking at this and thinking, you know what, we have half a chance here at the playoffs. A big win for Millwall at Wrexham it was, also on Saturday as well. So if you've enjoyed this video, my little debrief after the match, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. It really helps the channel out. You know, we've done well in the last couple of weeks or so. I really would love to see this continue as we give you a new video every single week up until we're going to be going up until about Mayish, I reckon. Up until the season ends, like properly. And then if anyone wants to pay for me to go to America for the World Cup, I don't mind that either. Just putting that out there, but it'll cost a bit of a fortune if you're going to do that. So yes, hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, share it to any Southampton and Watford supporting friends. And I will see you guys hopefully in next week's video. Adios.